Gentlemen, on today's show, I'm going to give you 7 preventative tips to keep your kids safe in the event that they ever get lost. With over 1,000 children a day that go missing for at least 60 minutes or more, it's important that we as fathers, we as parents, we take the necessary steps to make sure that we are prepared should that awful day ever come. Tip number 1 is to make sure that your child knows your full name, your address, and the phone number. That's right, it seems so basic. We kind of sometimes forget the most obvious things. We don't want to learn that they don't know it after the fact. Willow, I just told everybody that it's important for you to know where you live, your address, and your daddy's name, your phone number.
I already know.
Oh, you do? Okay. So why don't you tell everybody right there? Tell them, what's my name?
Chris.
And what's my last name?
Willow.
Good job. You get a bonus. All right. What is your address? What city? This California is the state. What city? Good job, good job. And what is mommy's number? Boom! Give me knuckles. Ah, you got it, see? Now why is it important for you to know that?
Because if you get lost, and somebody finds you, you can tell them your parents' phone number.
We didn't even plan this. She just walked in here into the garage where we're filming. This is magic. And how does it feel when you get lost? Have you been lost before? We got lost. So tell them, how does that feel? What did you do when you got lost?
I told someone, and then I went to the ticket booth, and then you found me.
I went to the ticket booth. And was that scary?
Yeah.
It was scary. It was scary for me. You know what? But we found each other, and because you were calm and you knew what to do, everything was great, right? High five. Dab together. All right. Good job. Yeah, good job, Willow. Extra money in your college account. Tip number 2 is very simple. It takes only about 5 to 10 minutes. You go to missingkids.com and you download a missing kid kit. Now what this is going to do, it's going to give you all the information that you need to be prepared in the event that you lose your child. It's going to have a place for an updated photo. It's going to have a place for fingerprints. It's going to have all the pertinent information, medical history, all those things that you need that you're going to be able to hand over to the proper authorities in the event that you have to escalate the search for your child. So that way when you're panicked and all the stress is going on, all you have to do is hand it over to them, knowing that time is of the essence. If you're some sicko, freakazoid piece of shit out there that gets pleasure or derives some kind of satisfaction from preying upon children, I hope that you rot in one day. Some people ask me, why are you so militant? Why are you so crazy? Why do you think the world's out to get your child? Why are you running around wrapping your child in bubble wrap? Well, you know what? I've been to the dark side. I'm in the Marines. There's crazy people in this world. They gotta know I'm at a different level of crazy. I joined the Marines just so one day people will think that I'm even crazier than I am. I'm crazy. Tip number 3 is called the what if game. You gotta play the what ifs. You gotta play these scenarios out with your children. If you go to an amusement park, as you're walking saying, hey, you know what, if we get lost, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go over here to this place where the lockers are. Or, you know what if you get lost here? Where are you gonna go? Maybe even point out at that time some of the park attendants, show them where the lost and found is. Tell them what they have to do in those scenarios. Now I know you gotta balance this and temper this with the fact that you don't wanna freak them out and think that, people are gonna be trying to snatch them, but you wanna make sure that they understand situational awareness, even at such a young age. Tip number 4 is to make sure that your kids know that if they get lost in a store, to make sure that they do not go out that front door or any other exit unless they are with someone that they know. Tip number 5 is kind of something that I alluded to in tip number 4, but that is to make sure that your kids know that if they get lost, they need to stay put. Stay put, stay where they are, because chances are they're within an earshot. Tell them to stay where they are until, all hope is kind of lost at that point and they feel the need to kind of go and ask someone for help. Mosquito. Hand sanitizer. Tip number 6 is a little difficult to teach our kids because it involves telling them to go and talk to strangers. All this time though, we tell them not to talk to strangers, but now they're in a situation where they're lost and they need help. So what do? Tell them how to do it safely. Tell them who to look for. Tell them to find someone in uniform. Tell them to find a worker, someone who has a name tag. Tell them, hopefully in that what if situation, you pointed out those people along the way that would be proper people to talk to. Tip number 7 is just as important, and this is something that happens a lot. Mark your stroller with something that's going to be distinguishing to your stroller, to your child. Believe it or not, people walk off with the wrong stroller all the time. When you look at some of the research that's been done at some of the amusement parks and places, those stories happen all the time. And the last thing you want is to have someone walking off with your child in the wrong stroller. You know that I'm going to want something other than a big bright yellow flower on there. I'm going to want something like, hey, maybe I like some stuffed skull and crossbones that's going to be hanging from there. Maybe it's hot pink with some black accents or something like that. Whatever it is, the whole point is to make sure that you can easily identify your stroller. And you know what? If you can kind of retain your masculinity along the way, I'm just saying, hey, there's only one thing that's left to do and one thing only, and that's for you to go out there and be the best damn father that this universe has ever had. You know what comes next. It's the dab, baby. The dad. Bam, 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 bam.